Of course, this is how it ends.
Amazing show.
Thanks,
Thank
Rossi.
you. Oh, I didn't even.
Welcome back to Hashtag That. I'm Liz Ippolito.
And I'm Carly Sanger. From Bad Batch to Ellen DeGeneres, we're back with the latest entertainment news updates.
All that and more from Hamden to Hollywood. We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
The New York State Court of Appeals, the highest court in the New York State judicial system, has decided to overturn the 2020 conviction of Harvey Weinstein on his sexual assault allegation charges. The court has stated that in the trial, women were able to testify who did not fall under the charges he was on trial for. And they said, quote, "Under our system of justice, the accused has a right to be held to account only for the crime charged, and thus allegations of prior bad acts may not be admitted against them for the sole purpose of establishing their propensity for criminality," end quote. His defense lawyer says that this is a big step for criminal defendants everywhere, while the many people who fought to put him behind bars have publicly stated how large of a setback this is. Even if a New York State retrial is established, Weinstein will remain in prison due to his 2022 sexual assault conviction in Los Angeles.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration has opened an investigation into the accident that occurred on Amazon MGM Studios' film The Pickup. Early Wednesday, the investigation began and numerous crew members were shooting an accident sequence that didn't go as planned. Amazon MGM spokesperson stated, quote, "We are still in the process of gathering facts on what happened and why, but first and foremost, our thoughts are with those who are recovering," end quote. Injuries occurred after a truck being used in a sequence locked up and hit another car. 2 crew members were hospitalized and injuries ranged from bumps and bruises to broken bones.
This past weekend was the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner, where former One Tree Hill star Sophia Bush made her red carpet debut with her girlfriend, soccer star Ashlyn Harris. After divorcing from her ex-husband, Grant Hughes, Bush wrote an article for Glamour's April 2024 issue, officially coming out as queer, saying, quote, "I finally feel like I can breathe. I don't think I can explain how profound that is. I feel like I was wearing a weighted vest for who knows how long." She continued, "I hadn't realized how heavy it was until I finally just put it down," end quote. There are many suspicions about this relationship being the result of a home-wrecking situation, but Bush touches on that as well, saying, quote, "The idea that I left my marriage based on some hysterical rendezvous that, to be crystal clear, never happened, rather than having taken over a year to do the most soul-crushing work of my life, it feels brutal," end quote. The couple has supposedly been together since October of 2023 after Bush's divorce in August of that same year.
A new investigation Discovery docuseries has been announced. The subject of the series will be Backstreet Boys member Nick Carter and his late brother Aaron Carter and the controversy surrounding the two. The series will cover the sexual assault allegations against Nick Carter from 3 women and the substance abuse and mental health struggles that led to Aaron Carter's death in 2022. The series will also analyze the brothers' relationship. After the success of Quiet on Set docuseries, Investigation Discovery and sister streamer Max will jointly run the series, Fallen Idols Nick and Aaron Carter, on May 27th and 28th at 9 p.m. Standard Eastern Time.
This past weekend, Quinnipiac's Black Student Union held their annual fashion show. Here with more is Taylor DeLisi.
Hey hashtag, I'm Taylor DeLisi, and today I'm at the Black Student Union's annual fashion show. Every year, the fashion show has a specific theme, and this year's is timeless, to highlight the Black influence on major fashion trends throughout history. EBORD, the fashion show committee, and models have been working tirelessly the entire year to prepare for the event.
I've partaked in the fashion show for all my 4 years at Quinnipiac, and I've always had a great time.
Hey hashtag, I'm Taylor DeLisi, and today I'm at the Black Student Union's annual fashion show. Every year, the fashion show has a specific theme, and this year's is timeless to highlight the Black influence on major fashion trends throughout history. eBoard, the fashion show committee, and models have been working tirelessly the entire year to prepare for the event.
I've partaked in the fashion show for all my 4 years at Quinnipiac, and I've always had a great time of just planning the show, pitting nice little dance moves and stuff like that. I've always been inspired with choreography, whether it's just walking or just literally doing a dance that has to do with the theme of the show. And I think all of the segments coming in together with walking, the clothes, the lights, the music is a really cool cool thing to be a part of.
We practice on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the beginning, and then during our last week is Tech Week, so we practice basically every day. And the hours are long, but it's pretty worth it because we can do classwork and do a whole bunch of things in between. And we also get to communicate with each other.
Even though the rehearsals are very long, I feel like it gives us a chance to kind of get to know each other, bond, create kind of this family atmosphere. Everybody knows everybody in this show basically because we've been here for so long. We've been perfecting all the different poses, the different dances, and it's just a really great show to be part of.
My favorite part probably has to be rehearsals, and just kind of having everyone come together and just show their talent, because we do put a lot of talent, hard work. There's dancers, artists that come through, and we all come together and just kind of create a really amazing, piece of art with the fashion, the talent. So it's just all the creative minds coming together is kind of my favorite part.
I hope that they not only see just the Black student and all students of color partake in the fashion show as a staple of our campus, but they also see that we're not just capable of putting a fashion show, we're capable of being more in the Quinnipiac community, because BSU, they do way more events besides the fashion show, but the fashion show has always been our biggest contender every single year. But we're just more than pretty clothes and dancing and lights. We're a big part of the Quinnipiac history, we're a big part of Quinnipiac's culture, and that this show is a very big example of that.
If you did not get a chance to catch the fashion show, be sure to check out BSU's Instagram at QUBSU to check out photos or to get involved. Normally, I would say to stay tuned for more campus events, but with this being my last show as a senior, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone in Q30, especially my producing staff. Before I got involved with this organization, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and if I had never gotten the push to apply for associate producer from all of you when the spot opened up, I would never be where I am today. I always used to say that I want to be behind the camera, but with the constant encouragement and motivation from everyone in this station, in front of the camera is now one of my favorite places to be. I know the station is in good hands next year, and I could not be prouder of the work I've left behind. For the last time, I'm Taylor DeLisi, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Reporting from the South Quad.
Reporting from outside the ledges, from the Arnold Bernard Library.
Reporting from North Haven parking lot.
Reporting in Hamden.
Reporting from Hamden. Reporting in Meriden. Reporting from Grassy Hill Farm.
Reporting from outside Emily Arena in Tampa, Florida.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
As the Bad Batch series approaches, Michael Katzflin is here to discuss the impact and potential setups. What do you have for us, Michael?
Hey hashtag, it's Michael. Wednesday marks the season 3 finale of Star Wars The Bad Batch, concluding the entire series and leaving fans wondering about the future of animated Star Wars projects. Originally conceived as a continuation of the Clone Wars, The Bad Batch has evolved into a pivotal narrative threading from the aftermath of Order 66 to the sequel trilogy era. Its significance surpasses even the Clone Wars and Rebels in Disney's canon, shedding light on Palpatine's schemes and the transition from clone troopers to stormtroopers. Yet, at its core, it remains the story of Clone Force 99 and their bond with Omega. As the series concludes, the focus shifts to what's next for Star Wars animation. While Tales of the Empire is confirmed, speculation abounds regarding potential new directions such as exploring the Empire's inner workings, or characters like Captain Rex and bounty hunters like Bane. The return of Asajj Ventress sparks curiosity, hinting at untold narratives and the potential for her central role in future series. The lack of official announcements regarding upcoming projects suggests that The Bad Batch's finale may pave the way for the next mainline animated series, possibly involving dramatic events at Dr. Hemlock's base or revelations about unaltered clones and the Force. Despite the series ending, the rich tapestry of Star Wars animation promises countless untold stories waiting to be explored, continuing its tradition of enhancing the saga's lore and narrative depth. That's all I have for you today. We'll be back after these commercials.
Here with hot gossip is Lane Dubin.
Thanks, guys. I'm going over all the celebrity drama this week, starting with Noah Cyrus has broken her silence surrounding recent speculation of family drama, and it's not the response anyone saw coming. This rumored family feud reportedly stems from claims that Noah had initially shown interest in actor Dominic Purcell only for her mother, Tish Cyrus, to step in and ignite a romance with him. The couple built a strong connection which led to a wedding last month that Noah skipped, yet her sister, Miley Cyrus, attended, leading people to speculate a rift in the family relations. Adding fuel to the fire, Noah chose to wear a Billy Ray Cyrus t-shirt on the day of the wedding, a move seen by many as silent protesting against her mother. On Saturday, Noah responded to a troll comment on her most recent Instagram post, which is her first public acknowledgement since the speculations first surfaced. Her clapback response did not confirm or deny any of the rumors, and Noah remains tight-lipped about her current feelings towards her mother, signaling that this family saga is far from over. Ellen DeGeneres is opening up about the challenges that she faced following the tumultuous end to her talk show career. Despite addressing her departure with humor during her recent stand-up routine on Wednesday, DeGeneres couldn't ignore the profound impact of being labeled mean and experiencing public backlash. Reflecting on the BuzzFeed News report that rocked her show in 2020, she candidly admitted to feeling like the most hated person in America and struggled to reconcile her public image with the allegations against her workplace environment. DeGeneres said, quote, "I'm making jokes about what happened to me, but it was devastating. It took a long time for me to want to do anything again," end quote. Despite the challenges, DeGeneres remains committed to spreading joy and laughter, emphasizing the importance of humor during difficult times. As she navigates this new chapter, DeGeneres continues to focus on her philanthropic endeavors and continues to gradually return to her passion for comedy. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but as a 2024 graduating senior, tonight is my last Q30 show ever. I came in as a first year wanting to find my place here at Q30, and hashtag that stole my heart and easily became my comfort show week one of college. I will never forget the endless amount of kindness and support from the hashtag that executive producers, Bella and Gabby, in helping me find my voice and my second home at Q30 in my first year back in fall of 2021. I felt that warm kindness and support from the entire hashtag that producing staff all 3 years I've been here, and I want to extend my deepest gratitude and respect to everyone for that. I want to thank current executive producer Liza Bolito on desk for being a beacon of light at hashtag that, and executive producer Alex Kendall for being my Q30 partner in crime since day one. Lastly, I want to thank everyone on this year's e-board and last year's e-board, as well as Alyssa Murphy, for taking a chance on me and allowing me to grow and flourish at Q30. It's been an absolutely incredible experience to see how far this show has come since I first joined, and for that I give everyone who's ever contributed anything to hashtag that their flowers. I'm going to miss reporting on fashion, concerts, and celebs. Thank you, hashtag.
It is me, Punxsutawney Phil. Everyone always asks, oh, is Phil going to see his shadow?
What's that? I can't hear you, little girl. You're going to have to speak up.
Well, if you keep yelling, you're not going to be able to hear anything at all.
Is this a part of the show?
Can we turn the heat up? It's like an icebox in here.
I'm going to need you guys to turn it down a little bit. I'm clearly in the middle of a show here.
A show? I thought this was a eulogy.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
We're back with this week's Hollywood News Update, and here to fill us in on all the latest West Coast entertainment news is Ryan Agnello.
Thanks, guys. We're going straight to Hollywood for our first story. During the press tour for her new film, The Fall Guy, actress Emily Blunt slammed studios for the use of algorithms when picking projects, telling Variety, quote, "How can algorithms be associated with art and content? How can we let it determine what will be successful and what will not? My hope is that Oppenheimer and similar projects are not considered anomalies, that we stop translating creative experience into diagrams," end quote. Similarly, in an interview with Inverse, the director of the 2001 film A Knight's Tale, Brian Helgeland, recently blamed the use of algorithms for the decision to turn down a possible sequel, saying, quote, "My understanding is that Netflix tested this sequel idea through their algorithms, which indicated that it would not be successful. A Knight's Tale seemed to get more popular with every passing year. It's the strangest thing," end quote. Do you think algorithms are a helpful tool for studios to determine what projects might be successful, or do they end up doing more harm than good?
I agree with Emily Blunt here because we've seen this over the past decade with how many IP films come out. You know, we see a lot of Marvel every single year. It's all the same every single time, just different characters, different universe. And I think that means that the algorithm is harmful. We rarely see films without an IP, or that most of the films are a sequel. So it's hard to know what will be successful until you take that risk and kind of drop the algorithm to kind of see what is gonna do well. And I think The Fall Guy is a good example of that because I've never really seen kind of a plot like that. And it's just something I'm really excited for. But what do you think, Carly?
I completely agree with you, and I think that if you asked anybody what they want from TV or from film right now, they'd say something different. Because even for years, it's been, this is a sequel, and then we're going to make a prequel, and then we're going to make a third movie after that. And everyone wants something new. Everyone wants something creative. So the use of algorithms, while people are going to see it, it's not what people want necessarily, I think. And also Emily Blunt makes a good point from an actor's perspective. I think it must really be hard for them. So what do you think, Ryan?
I think you guys hit the nail on the head here. Studios and executives are really trying to objectify a subjective medium that's really determined by the audiences, and I don't think it's really that beneficial to the art form as a whole to try to cram everything into an algorithm to see what will work and what won't work. But moving on, writer Aaron Sorkin is back in the news with more talk of his planned follow-up for the 2010 film The Social Network. This time, the Academy Award-winning writer revealed his intention to write about the dark side of Facebook, centering on Facebook's involvement in the January 6th Capitol riot. On the podcast The Town, Sorkin quoted, "Facebook has been, among other things, turning its algorithm to promote the most divisive material possible, because that is what will increase engagement. That is what will get you to what they call inside the hallways of Facebook, the infinite scroll, end quote. He went on to say, quote, there's supposed to be a constant tension at Facebook between growth and integrity. There isn't, there's just growth, end quote. While the project is still very early on, Sorkin has gone on record saying it will only be made if David Fincher returns to direct. Is this the right decision to take a social network follow-up, or is there too much to the Facebook story to fit into a Hollywood adaptation?
Now, I completely understand the want for this, but it just seems like there's so much to fit into it. And I'm always very skeptical about sequels as a whole anyway. I just think that a lot of the time they tend to maybe ruin the first one, or just it's not as good of a follow-up, and that it's a push maybe instead of just being natural. So I don't really know about this one. What do you think?
You know, I think it could be a very interesting concept, especially if they take it from the January 6th standpoint. I think that is something that's heavily influenced by Facebook, but they're not taking into account Twitter, for X, or Instagram, or any of the other social medias that did have a big impact there. And I think just keeping it to Facebook isn't smart, but it is very recent. And I think it is too recent, and there's a lot of facts still coming out about the event for them to make a whole movie on it. But what do you think, Ryan?
When you go back to watch The Social Network, it seems very small scale when you look at Facebook, now Meta's kind of timeline from then now. So I think that it really is too much to put into one movie, or too much to really discuss, and it might be a little too bloated for a full feature-length film. But moving on, it's hard to imagine that I'd be standing here one day giving my senior send-off, but here we are. I started my Q30 journey, like many others, nervous and overwhelmed by the expertise and skill of all the unknown faces in the room. Q30 was a major reason for my decision to come to Quinnipiac, and I was excited for the opportunity to get involved. While I started as a crew member for Quinnipiac Tonight, I quickly jumped on the opportunity to grow in the station and eventually become an associate producer. At the suggestion of a friend, I joined the crew for Hashtag and gained a new batch of people to look up to, even if I was still too camera shy to go on air. Now, in my senior year, I've had the incredible honor of being Q30's entertainment director, where I've had a first-hand look at the dedication and genuine love of this station that each member has, and I'm proud to have seen Hashtag evolve into something truly remarkable. I didn't know it was possible, but this past year has made me fall in love with the station in the way it did 3 years ago all over again. I'm honored to be part of such an amazing and welcoming community and call the Media Suite home. While my time at Q30 might not be completely over, I'll never forget the connections and memories I made here in the Media Suite.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
With this being my very last time hosting Hashtag, I wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on my time here at Q30, specifically Hashtag. I unwillingly joined Hashtag in March of 2021, and I received a phone call from a friend who I just met at the time who was frantic. She told me she was supposed to host Hashtag that night, and her co-host had a family emergency and couldn't do it. Unwillingly, I agreed to go on with her. I knew nothing about the show and was just trying to be nice. I didn't immediately fall in love with the show, but my friend fell in love with the idea of me joining Hashtag. For the last few weeks of freshman year and into sophomore year, she made sure I went every week. Slowly but surely, I was hooked on Hashtag. I think she knew at the time that I needed to branch out and meet new people, and I sure did. I struggled immensely freshman and sophomore year socially, and coming to Hashtag every week, I knew I would be exposed to a kind and fun environment. There I met some of the most impactful people of my college career. To Gabby and Bella, thank you for being so kind to me during this time. You have no idea how your small acts meant to me. From there, I decided to be an EP, and I'm still convinced that I was the personality hire because I had no idea what I was doing. I love being an executive producer, and last year I struggled deciding if I would return for another year. I changed my mind almost every hour, and the deciding factor came down to the friend who got me to join in the first place. You know I tricked you, right? She said. What? I replied. You would have never joined if I didn't lie about needing a co-host, she answered. The past 3 years had been a lie. But she was right. My decision was made. I had to come back, and I'm so thankful that I did. I would have never had the pleasure to become close with the friends and the people I call my best friends. And today I struggle more than I have in the past to saying goodbye. I've said goodbye to older friends, but what's different now is I'm the one leaving. I'll never get to scream "We Lit" with Grace Doyle in a silent suite again. I'll never write another TV Beat article or write a joint slay with Ella again. I'll never ask Alex for package times, and I'll never call Taylor Big Dog, even though she's 4'11". I'll never get to watch Mike eat a riot from Ray and Mike's and watch him suffer for the hours after. And sadly, I won't be here for MKF's first show as the new #EP. I've struggled to find the words to describe how proud I am of everyone in this room. I am one of the older people in this club, and I have watched everyone grow and learn, and I have accepted leaving because, frankly, you guys don't need me anymore. My job here is done. You have learned everything I have to teach you. And with that being said, I want to thank my parents for their unconditional support, for watching every single #show I produced, to interacting with Lane through the Q30 Instagram, and to letting me know when the audio doesn't work when it's live. You are my biggest fans, and I'm so lucky to have so much support in my life. To Alex, you're an inspiration to those around you. I'm so lucky and thankful to have such a hardworking, strong woman next to me every Monday. We're the dream team, and thank you for culturing me on Attack of Titan. To MKF and Mike, thank you for making me laugh every day of the week. You have no idea how special you guys are to me, and to watch you both grow these past few years has been a blessing. Thank you for dealing with my craziness every week. To Grace, Ella, and Taylor, I don't even know what to say. Grace, you've been at this almost as long as me, and there's no one else I would have rather fight about sour versus guts with on social media. You forever keep me humble even when I don't ask, and you will never understand how much you mean to me. Taylor and Ella, you guys forced yourselves into my life this year and have turned it upside down. I can always count on you to yap my ears off and bring the most exotic energy to any function. You three feel like the younger sisters I never asked for, but I'm so lucky to have. And finally, to this girl next to me, I have watched you grow up in 3 years. You have become such an inspiration to me. Your honesty, your humor, your kindness, and your support has guided me through my growth during my college career. 4 years later, and I still don't know how to feel about #. But I do know that I will forever cherish the people who have made the place. For one last time, from Hamden to Hollywood, I'm Liz Ippolito.
Starting from my first semester at Quinnipiac, I knew I wanted to join Q30 since I want to go into a career in television production. I love entertainment, so I naturally gravitated towards #that. My first episode ever I was a part of was because one of the EPs at the time, Bella Foley, texted me and asked if I wanted to direct the show that night. I told her I didn't think I would be able to because I had absolutely no idea what that entailed, and she assured me that I would do great and everyone would help me and support me every step of the way. I listened to her and went to the show, which was one of my best decisions I've made during my time here. This gave me a whole new group of friends, some people who would turn into my best friends now, including the girl sitting right next to me for our last show. After a year of being a general member, I had the amazing experience of being an associate producer for the show last year, getting to work with an amazing group of people, and I will forever be thankful for getting to be around that staff. I learned so many things from a technical standpoint, as well as so much about me as a producer and my style working at that level. After being an AP, I decided I was ready for a change of pace, so this past year I have served as the vice president of the station. And this has been a whole new experience filled with meeting and working with so many new people. Getting to be on the Q30 cabinet is an experience I would not have replaced for anything. And I believe it was the best way for me to spend my last year working with this station that I love so much. If it weren't for all my experience here, I wouldn't be able to say that I'm heading towards a dream internship at Warner Bros. Discovery this summer. Thank you to every single person I've worked with and who has helped me in the past 3 years. You guys mean more to me than you will ever know. First and foremost, thank you to my incredible parents for supporting me and being my biggest fans no matter what, as well as my brother and sister who mean the world to me. Thank you to Emily Eisengrein and Jack Muscatello for being unconditionally loving and overwhelmingly excited to cheer on my successes through college. Thank you to Bella Foley for being the first person to push me. Thank you to Liz Ippolito for mentoring me throughout last year and ultimately becoming one of my best friends and one of my favorite parts of school and this station. I love you. Thank you to Ella Madden for being my biggest Q30 supporter throughout this year and also becoming someone who I'm proud to call one of my best friends. I'm fortunate enough to say that there's so many names I could say, and the list keeps going on. But thank you to everybody. I love you all so much. My time here has shaped my college experience, and I'm so grateful that I was able to be part of this incredible organization. I'll miss this show and everyone in the media suite, and I know everyone is going to absolutely shine as they move forward.